Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be flying the PMDG's Boeing 737-800, currently displayed in the Virgin Blue livery. As soon as the passengers have boarded and we have finished prepping and configuring the aircraft, we will be departing Townsville International for a 36-minute, 176 nautical mile flight to our destination airport, Cairns International. We will be departing Townsville from runway 1 via the Swift 1 departure, arriving in Cairns via the Hender 8 Alpha arrival for an RNP approach to runway 33. Live weather is active for today's flight. Current conditions on the tarmac in Cairns, we have 29 degrees centigrade, winds are 360 degrees at 11 knots, dew point is 26 degrees centigrade, barometric pressure is 1005 hectopascals. Thunderstorms are forecast today for the Cairns region and we're expecting a bumpy arrival on approaching to Cairns. Current conditions on the tarmac at Townsville, we have 28 degrees centigrade, winds are 60 degrees at 8 knots, dew point is 24 degrees centigrade, barometric pressure is 1005 hectopascals. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications bell. Thanks for flying with us today and we hope you have a pleasant experience. Without any further ado, let's jump into the flight deck. And welcome to the flight deck. As you can see, the aircraft is currently in a cold and dark state. Today, FS Crew's first officer will be assisting me, and he's just about to begin the electrical power up. Ready to go?
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Once we have power to the radios, we will tune ATIS for the current weather conditions. Okay, we already have ATIS tuned into our radio, so we'll just swap that and we'll get our weather for the trip.
Townsville International Information Delta, 50 Zulu, winds are 053 at 8 knots. Visibility unrestricted. 4,100 scattered. 8,800 broken. Temperature 29, dew point 25. Current QNH is 1005. Arriving and departing runway 01.
Okay, we have information Delta. Runway 1 is in use and the QNH is 1005 hectopascals. Now we'll tune into clearance delivery and request our clearance for the flight. India Sierra Mike 63 with information Delta, ready to copy your IFR clearance.
India Sierra Mike 63 is cleared to Yankee Bravo Charlie Sierra. Climb via the Swift
Just
1
heading out for the walk
departure
around.
with the Swift transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 01. Climb to flight level 120 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 7 minutes after departure. Departure on 126.8. Squawk 6145.
India Sierra Mike 63 is cleared to Yankee Bravo Charlie Sierra. Climb via the Swift 1 departure, via the Swift transition, then as filed. Climb to flight level at 120 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 7 minutes after departure. Departure on 126.8. Squawk 6145.
India Sierra Mike 63 rear back correct. QNH is 1005. Contact ground on 121.8 when ready for pushback. Enjoy your afternoon.
Golf Whiskey 4 cans, fire green on, pushback. Golf Whiskey, delivery cleared.
QNH is 1005. Ground on 121.8. India Sierra Mike 63. Okay, we have our flight clearance. We're cleared to 12,000 feet and our squawk code today is 6145. We'll enter the squawk code into the window. .6145 set. Now we'll head on over to our MCP change our altimeter from mercury to hectopascals and dial in 1005 hectopascals. 1005 hectopascals set. Now we'll go over to our altitude window and we'll set 12,000, flight level 120.
Hi, the security and safety checks are complete. Can we start boarding now?
Yes please.
Thanks.
Now that the APU is online, we'll head up to the overhead panel and line the IRSs.
Ground Indigo Whiskey, CSO Indigo Whiskey.
We'll switch both switches to nav. Now that the IRSs are aligned, we can head over to our FMC and begin to enter the data required for the flight today.
Today, Alpha Delay with the top, and we'll be taking the 6 miles over the line. Have to let me roger, yeah.
Back from the walk around, no issues.
Cool. We'll enter the FS Actions page, fuel, and enter 4,374 kilos. 4,374 kilos. We'll go to our payload page and we'll enter our zero fuel weight, which is 53.9. Now we can go over to our POSINIT page. Today we're going to be departing Townsville International, Yankee Bravo Tango Lima. If we go over to the next page, we can copy our GPS location. Back to the first page, and now we can enter that in the set IRS position. Now we can go over to our route page. We already have Yankee Bravo Tango Lima in the scratch pad, so we can enter that into the origin airport. Runway 1, and our destination airport today is Cairns International, Yankee Bravo Charlie Sierra. Our flight number today is India Sierra Mike 063, and we'll go over to the next page. We only have 2 waypoints to enter here, the first being Swift, Sierra, Whiskey, India, Foxtrot, Tango. We want the Southern Hemisphere one, and the other being Barrier, Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, India, Alpha. And we can activate and execute that. We'll go over to the departure and arrivals page. Departing runway 1 today. Looking for the Swift one.
Wind shear.
Departure.
Wind shear. Terrain.
We can execute
Pull
that.
up.
Back to the departure
Subway.
and arrival page.
Pull up. Terrain.
We're arriving
Pull
on
up.
the Hend 8 Alpha
Don't
arrival.
sink. Don't
The
sink.
barrier
Too
transition.
low. Terrain. Too low. Gear.
And
Too low. Flaps.
we'll be arriving
Too low. Terrain.
on runway
Glide
33 for
Bank
Romeo,
Angle. Bank angle. Minimums.
November,
500.
Victor,
400.
Yankee,
300.
33.
200. 100. 50. 40.
We can execute that.
20. 10.
We'll go back to our
Wind
route
shear.
page,
Wind shear. Wind shear.
scroll through the
Too
pages.
low. Terrain.
As we can see here, we have a route discontinuity.
Terrain.
We can override that with Hendo.
Terrain. Terrain.
We also have a vector because we'll be under instruction from air traffic control on our approach and arrival. We can override this vector here with Charlie Sierra 540. And we can execute. We'll go over to our legs page. We'll have a quick scroll through these 5 pages, see if there's anything unusual looking there. Well, looking good. So we'll go back up to the MCP
Monitor radar display.
and
Go around. Wind shear ahead.
we'll set our DU.
Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
We may have to wait for a little while, but we'll set our DU to plan. Now we can step through our plan. We'll just magnify this a bit more. Now we can step all the way through our plan from our departure to our arrival, including our missed approach. Okay. Looking for any indiscrepancies, blank places. Into our missed approach waypoints now. All looking good there. So we'll switch back to map and we'll head back to our FMC. We'll go to the init ref page. We've already entered our zero fuel weight, so all we have to do here is double click. Our reserves today are 2.5 tonnes and our cost index is 15. Our cruise altitude today is 18,000 feet, flight level 180. Our cruise wind today is 297 degrees at 11 knots. Our ISO deviation is plus 17. Our transition altitude for Australia is 10,000 feet or flight level 100. We already have that, so we can move on to the N1 limit page. We may execute first. Okay, today we're going to do a derated takeoff 2 with an assumed temperature of 51 degrees. And we get a climb 1 takeoff. Go to the takeoff page. We're doing a flaps 1 takeoff. Centre of gravity is a double click. We'll go back to the next page. We'll head our runway wind, which is 060 degrees at 8 knots. We'll go back to the first page and we'll enter in our V1, VR and V2 speeds. I'm working from my flight plan here, so they differ slightly. V1 is 138. VR is 140. And V2 is 143. We'll go over to the descent page, over to the forecast page. Transition level in Australia is flight level 110. I'll just return to the takeoff page. And I didn't think I thought I'd put that in. Okay, I'll put that in. V2 is 143. There we go, we're finished there. Okay, we'll head back to the init ref page.
Ground MMV fucking full departure, so we got 3 PV with Delta request taxi.
We'll actually head over to the descent page, go to the forecast page. Transition level in Australia is 110. And QNH today at the tarmac in Cairns is the same as Townsville, 1005 hectopascals. And flight level 170. Our winds are 261 at 11 at flight 140. Our winds are 272 degrees at 12 knots.
Ground car 10 is vacated, okay.
And at flight level 100,
Car 10.
our wind speeds are 298 degrees at 14 knots. Okay, we'll execute that. We'll head up to our MCP, 143 in the MCP, in the speed window. Before we go any further, we'll do our pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist, please.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Hi guys, here is the load.
Tested 100%.
Tested
Thank
100%. Navigation, transfer and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat, on. Pressurization mode selector, auto. Flight instruments.
Have a great flight.
Heading 097, altimeter 1005.
Heading 097. Altimeter 1005. Parking brake.
Set,
Engine start levers.
cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Now we have the pre-flight checklist out the way. We'll set the courses to our runway heading of 012 on both sides. And also on our heading indicator. We'll arm flight directors. Mine is master. First officers will be slave. We'll enter our minimums when we arrive on approach into Cairns. Minimums will be 830 feet. I'm going to add 50 feet to that 830 just so we don't break them 830 feet minimums. This takes a while. Almost there. Oh, too far.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Jasmine and I'm your cabin supervisor on your flight today. We would like to extend a warm welcome to our frequent
Okay, we'll head up to the overhead panel.
partner airlines. So we can depart as soon as possible.
We need to set this at 18,000.
Only by hand baggage.
Our landing altitude is 0.
All other items must be placed under the seat in front of you.
Okay, we'll just have a quick look around in the cockpit, make sure
We are here to help, but please don't
everything's
hesitate to
looking
ask
good.
any one of us.
Yep, okay. Yep, all looking fine. We'll arm VNAV, LNAV, and we'll arm the auto throttle too. Okay, we will head down to the FMC again, and we'll go to our approach tab. And according to my flight plan today, we have flaps 40 VREF at 130. So we'll enter that in.
Hi, passengers are seated.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And morning train of Foxtrot, 6 POV, receipt of Delta request to execute.
As you can see, the jetway is moving away now. Before start procedure, please.
Check.
X-ray November Foxtrot Alpha 4, cross runway 15, taxi holding port Bravo 2.
Cross runway 15, taxi to holding point Bravo 2.
So just head back to our takeoff page. Before start checklist, please.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. MCP.
V2 143, heading 012, altitude flight level 120.
Takeoff speeds.
V1 138, VR 140, V2 143.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Are you sure? Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Okay, we've forgotten to run our departure brief, so we're going to run our departure brief now.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the gate. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff using D-rated thrust with an assumed temperature. Planning a flaps 1 takeoff, anti-ice will be off. In the event of a malfunction prior to V1, I will call either reject or continue. Standard low-speed reject procedures below 80 knots. Between 80 knots and V1, I will only conduct a high-speed reject in the case of an engine fire or failure, predictive windshield warning, or if there is any other condition that makes the aircraft unable or unsafe to take into the air.
Charlie 3 to the base.
I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disconnect the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify the operation of the RTO auto brake, apply maximum reverse thrust, verify the extension of the speed brake, and bring the aircraft to a complete stop and set the park brake. We will then run the appropriate checklist or evaluate our options. If you could monitor my actions, make the standard rejected takeoff calls, including any abnormalities you observe before advising ATC. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the standard company procedures. We will climb to the MSA and track clear of local terrain. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we are okay to make an immediate return. Okay, all going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned seat, flying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedures required. Flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set, and NOTAMs and aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Okay, any questions, comments or concerns?
No, it was excellent, so not today.
Departure brief complete.
Okay, that's why we have checklists. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to contact, time to contact ground to get our pushback and engine start. India Sierra Mike 63, ready for pushback and engine start.
India Sierra Mike 63, pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved, India Sierra Mike 63. So we're just waiting for the tug to arrive now. Shouldn't be too far away. Oh, here he is.
Bravo Charlie, Romeo Grand, taxi and approach.
Taxi in the last Bravo Charlie Romeo. Grand is 947, base 20, request back.
Just on 947, can Grand push back the bridge.
Ground to flight deck.
947.
Go ahead.
Communication check please, and confirm the brakes are set.
Communications are okay and the brakes are set.
Thanks.
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, cockpit.
We are ready for pushback and engine start, tail north.
Roger. Tail north. The pin is inserted. Release brakes.
Brakes released.
Okay, commencing pushback.
Bravo Charlie Romeo, give way to Cessna inbound for day 3 and taxi holding port Alpha 2.
You are clear behind and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Roger that. Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Start engine 2.
Starting 2. Oil pressure.
Looking for 25.
Pushback complete. Set parking
Fuel
brakes,
in.
please.
Brake set.
Roger.
Ground today, Velocity 778 by 18, ready to pushback.
737 hold position 1 to taxi behind shortly.
Holding position, Velocity 778.
Start a cutout.
Check.
Number 2 is stable.
Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence the safety demonstration. Each aircraft may be different, so we appreciate...
Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We'll see you on the left side with the pin.
Oil pressure.
Thanks, you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks, have a good flight. See you later.
Thank you. Looking for 25. 25.
Just done I-47, information Delta, taxi 6, Bravo 2.
Just on 947 taxi Charlie 3 holding for Bravo 2.
Charlie 3, holding point Bravo 2, that's done. Sorry, 947.
Start a cutout.
Check.
Number 1 is stable.
Check. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flight controls check.
Ready.
Full left. Centre.
Check.
Full right. Centre.
Check.
Full down. Centre.
Check.
Full back. Centre.
Check.
Full left. Centre.
Check.
Full right. Centre.
Check.
Flight control check complete. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Propane on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Recall.
Checked.
Checked. Auto brake. RTO. Engine start levers.
Idle detect.
Velocity separate.
Ground equipment.
Back up 3, thanks, Velocity 778.
Clear.
Clear. Before taxi checklist complete.
Before takeoff checklist, please.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 1, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5.3 units.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
India Sierra Mike 63, ready for taxi.
India Sierra Mike 63 taxi to runway 01 via taxiways Kilo, Alpha 2, Alpha 1. Hold short runway 01.
Taxi to runway 01 via taxiways Kilo, Alpha 2, Alpha 1. Hold short runway 01. India Sierra Mike 63. Clear left.
Clear right.
Sierra Foxtrot Whiskey on Eastern Runway.
Sierra Foxtrot Whiskey.
Very good morning to you. Request multiple engine start for surveillance purposes. We'll be here for about an hour. They're running engines intermittently.
Transfer 302 Delta surveillance.
Killing 302 Dallas Brand taxi Charlie 3 space.
Charlie 3 space, Delta 302 Delta.
Thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Thank you. Runway entry procedure.
Check.
Runway 78 taxi, Charlie.
Cabin crew, take your seats. Ready to go.
Thank you.
India Sierra Mike 63 contact tower on 118.3. Have a good afternoon.
Tower on 118.3, India Sierra Mike 63. Tower, India Sierra Mike 63, holding short, runway 1.
India Sierra Mike 63 hold short for traffic on final runway 01.
Hold short, runway 01, India Sierra Mike 63.
India Sierra Mike 63 line up and wait, runway 01.
Line up and wait, runway 01, India Sierra Mike 63.
India Sierra Mike 63 winds are 053 and 900 knots clear for takeoff, runway 01 squawk 6145.
Clear for takeoff at runway 01, squawking 6145, India Sierra Mike 63. Takeoff.
Check.
N1 to go.
Check. Thrust set.
Check.
knots.
Check.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive climb.
Gear up. Flaps up.
Speed check, flaps up.
Select Command A.
Command A.
India Sierra Mike 63 contact toast for departure on 126.8, level 1.
Departure on 126.8, India Sierra Mike 63. Departure, India Sierra Mike 63, with you climbing to flight level 120.
India Sierra Mike 63, good afternoon.
Palarenda looking beautiful today.
Sierra Mike 63 contact Brisbane Center on 120.55. Enjoy your afternoon.
Centre on 120.55. Take care, India Sierra Mike 63. Centre, India Sierra Mike 63, with you climbing to flight level 120.
India Sierra Mike 63, good afternoon.
Okay, we're at Avmat now. We're going to level out for a little while until we get to Adnod. We're going to stay at or below 8,000 feet just for a little while. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist, engine leads on, packs, auto, landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete.
Rattlesnake Island just outside our left window. We're being routed around Rattlesnake Island wide because they use this island here for their bombing runs. So we don't want to get involved in that now. We're making our left turn. We'll start to climb again to our cleared altitude of 12,000 feet. Shortly afterwards, shortly before 12,000 feet, we should get clearance for our cruising altitude of flight level 180. Out of our left window we've got the Palm Island region. We're now commencing our climb back up to 12,000 as cleared by ATC. I anticipate about around 11,000 feet we should get our clearance for our cruising altitude. A little bit of cloud starting to creep in now. Unfortunately I don't think most of the trip is going to be really good for sightseeing. Over in the distance there we've got Hinchinbrook Island just disappearing in the cloud now.
We'll release the cabin now.
Yes please. Standard set.
India Sierra Mike 63, climb to flight level 180.
Climb to flight level 180, India Sierra Mike 63. Okay, there's our final cruising altitude. Just over in the distance there, you can see the airfield on Palm Island. Up here we've got Polaris and a few of the other islands. Just over here we've got the sugar capital of North Queensland, Ingham. Cardwell's disappeared well into the distance there now. Getting close to the top of the, getting close to the top of climb.
2,000 level.
Check. Starting to level off the aircraft now. Top of climb now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our cruising altitude, so I'm going to switch off the fasten seatbelt sign. However, we do ask that, just as we do here on the flight deck, you keep your seatbelt fastened. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to slip back into the galley and grab a coffee and something to eat. So I'll leave my first officer in control. You have control?
I have control.
And we'll catch up with you later, closer to our top of descent.